His themes in the film of Yao Ming and Hansen include capitalism, social class, race, and scandal. These themes are developed over time, as the first theme was social class. Yao Ming growing up. In China, his parents were middle class. His parents played basketball professionally. But for others, it was a hard time in the 80s. Chinese economy was bad following the Chinese Cultural Revolution. After Chairman Mao died, the Chinese government would open up the economy reform. The next theme is capitalism and scale. In 2002, the Chinese government took notice of Wang, Zhizhi, and Yao Ming. The government would go on to put restrictions that required any Chinese basketball player to turn over half of their NBA salaries and commercial earnings to the Chinese Basketball Association. The Chinese government said if Yao was not the number one draft pick, that he would not be going to the United States. The last theme is race. Yao Ming would face a lot of Chinese stereotypes. Once the Miami Heat gave out 8,000 fortune cookies to fans. Yao Ming did not like it, as he thought that it was an American invention. Yao's future friend Shaquille O'Neal would once say a racist remark. He denied it at first, but later apologized and regretted it. Society issues at the time that Yao Ming played. What were the specific issues that were dividing or creating tension in our nation around the time of Yao Ming? In the late 1980s, the Chinese government would stop a protest at Tiananmen Square, which was a major protest against the Chinese government for human rights and the reform of the government. This event would become one of the most iconic protests in Chinese history, as the government opened fire on the citizens. This is similar to the Kent State protest, where the Ohio State National Guard opened fire on student protesters who were protesting the Vietnam War. This also would become one of the most iconic protests in U.S. history. How does this connect to Yao Ming and Hansen? These issues relate to the Yao Ming and Hansen film. In 2002, a lot of people thought that Yao Ming's career would be over before it even started, as people questioned whether the Chinese Basketball Association would even let him out of the country. This connects to Yao Ming and Wang Zhizhi, the first Chinese basketball player in the NBA, refused to play for the Chinese national team. Wang Zhizhi wanted to spend the summer in the United States to practice with the Dallas Mavericks instead of going back and forth to both countries right during the 2001 summer. Wang Zhizhi was then dismissed for missing the Chinese national practice. Wang Zhizhi's career would ultimately fold since he was missing practice with both teams and could not focus on basketball as much as he wanted. Yao Ming, on the other hand, would become the most successful Asian basketball player, as he went on to the NBA and played for the Chinese national team while developing into a Hall of Famer. Historical context to Yao Ming and Hansen. Ultimately, after Chairman Mao died, many leaders took over, and eventually China would open up to the rest of the world. In the 1980s, China would also shut down their borders to the outside. In the 1990s, Hong Kong and Macau would be returned by the British, but only if the two provinces continue under their separate government away from China. China would start to open up their borders to the rest of the world. In 2000, the Chinese government would allow more usage of social media. One of the most followed was Yao Ming, since he was in the NBA. In 2003, the NBA would finally include 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and Chinese. As a result, fans in China would vote for Yao Ming, and he became the first rookie to make the All-Star team. Yao Ming would start his basketball career in the Chinese Basketball Association with the Shanghai Sharks. Yao would lead them to a 2002 CBA championship at the age of 22. Yao would win the CBA block leader 3 times and rebound, showing his defensive skills. Yao Ming was 7.5 feet tall. Yao Ming would declare for the 2002 NBA draft, being picked number 1 overall by the Houston Rockets. Yao Ming would only play 8 NBA seasons due to later year injuries. His career winded down. Yao would also make the NBA All-Star game 8 times in a row. Yao's competitiveness and hard work would earn him a spot on the All-NBA team 5 times. He would go down as one of the best centers in NBA history. Yao's competitiveness and hard work would earn him a spot on the All-NBA team 5 times. He would go down as one. Yao Ming would later be elected to the NBA Hall of Fame. Yao Ming's national career: he would lead Team China to the FIBA Ming Asia Cup Championship, to a historic 3-time gold medal. Ming would also lead them to 3 Olympic appearances, which was a best in China's history. Several NBA announcers would predict that Yao Ming would be a draft bust. Yao Ming criticism. People also said that he was too tall to play. Before the 2002 season started, ESPN analysts said that Yao Ming would fail in the NBA. NBA Hall of Famer Charles Barkley and sport analysts said that Yao Ming would only score 19 points by the end of the NBA season. In November of 2002, Yao Ming would have a breakout game scoring 20 points. Hansen Yang would start his basketball career with the Chinese Basketball Association with the Qingdao Eagles. Yang would lead the Qingdao Eagles to the playoff only to get blocked by the Zhizhi Lions. Yang, like Yao, would be named the CBA Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year in 2024. Yang was named a CBA All-Star North Conference Player in 2024. Will the massive 7'1" Hansen Yang change the game of basketball forever? Hansen Yang would declare for the 2025 NBA Draft, as many people in China and the rest of the world are anticipating the next Yao Ming. Many NBA teams are interested in Hansen Yang. Hansen Yang is a very skilled passer with a unique offensive talent who has speed and quickness. Hansen Yang plays with a somewhat old-school class style of play. Hansen Yang's national career. He would lead Team China to the FIBA Asia Cup, to the FIBA U18 Basketball World Cup games, which his team would finish 3rd place. Though a disappointing FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup game, his team would finish 10th. Yang would go on to play in the FIBA Asia Cup games at a 19-year-old, leading his team to victory against Guam. Yang would go on to become a 5-time FIBA All-Star in the U18 games. Hansen Yang criticism. The big question for Hansen Yang is how much his low feet and a lack of shooting range can be improved while determine whether he sticks in the pros, analysts say. A lot of people are also questioning whether they should pit Hansen Yang with all of the hype in him being the next Yao Ming. A lack of exposure is also a negative, as the CBA competition is not as strong as the NBA. It's more like the NBA G League style of play. Yang will need to adjust to the NBA speed of play despite the CBA's fast play too. Also, the NBA will test his physical advantages at a higher level and will be an even greater challenge. Hansen Yang language barrier. Hansen Yang has spoke in his press conference in Mandarin, but then decided to speak in English. As he walked out of the room, he would say bye-bye as he left. For Yang, there is a bit of a learning curve, with the English language not being his fluent language, but the coach for the NBA Combine said that when he enters the court, there's a different vibe with him. Modern day connection. The modern day connection is that Hansen Yang could become the next Yao Ming. Although Yang said that he doesn't like to be compared to being the next Yao Ming, since it adds a lot of pressure, as Yao Ming was a Hall of Famer, an 8-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA team player, as they are 2 different people. Yang has admitted that he respects Yao Ming and is just hoping to show the world that he can play in the NBA like Yao. First off though, in 1999, Wang Zhizhi had opened up the path for players like Yao Ming, Zhizhi, Yi Zhiyan, Xiao Qi, Yang Zhi, and now Hansen Yang. But the challenge was getting out of China. In 2002, when Yao Ming declared for the NBA draft, the Chinese government would force Zhizhi and Ming to give up half of their earnings and commercial earnings to the CBA. This led to a scandal within the Chinese basketball world. Wang Zhizhi will ultimately be the one to take the fall, as he was banned from the Chinese national team. Just like how it took many leaders in China to open up to the rest of the world, Yao Ming would finally open up the door for the rest of the Chinese basketball players to play in the NBA, like prospect Hansen Yang, who shares a similar playing style but can shoot threes unlike Yao Ming. So ultimately, is Hansen Yang the next Yao Ming? And the answer is both. Hansen Yang is an individual person who shares similar traits to Ming, but also some people now say that he is like Nikola Jokic.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. 'Cause you're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. 'Cause you light up the path. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Oh, oh. 'Cause you get light